Hello, folks, and welcome back to Chris Wyatt Reports. Strange things indeed. Strange things. Companies have had to adjust to pandemic and post-pandemic, whether it's airlines, hotels, those who survive, restaurants, retail outlets especially. But across the world, people are responding to it, and the response is quite different. Now, Starbucks has famously been created by Howard Schultz, who bought an existing company back in the 70s and turned it into a global colossus. Left the company, famously came back when it was floundering, got it back on the path again, then left. He's currently the interim CEO once again for Starbucks, as if they can't find anybody capable of running that company. It's a bit distressing as a shareholder. But I read to you the following statement from Howard Schultz on the 11th of July, 2022. The state of the world, the conditions of our stores and communities, and the hopes and dreams and lives of each of our partners are top of mind as I write you this morning. Since my return in April, I've been learning so much through open, honest, and often vulnerable conversations and collaboration sessions across stores, manufacturing plants, and in the Starbucks Support Center. What's going on here? What exactly is Howard Schultz up to? Is this code for wokeism? We know the behavior of Starbucks. Oftentimes it acts in the interest of a tiny minority over the vast majority of the population, taking the company in bizarre directions like, let's talk about race. The heck was that all about? Well, maybe it has a little something to do with this. Now, people in the center and on the right are very excited to hear about this, but take a deep breath, folks. Starbucks is shutting down 16 store locations in largely Democrat-run cities across America, citing safety concerns and an increase in crime. Now, this is hardly a dent in the retail chain's massive 15,000 store presence, its grocery store and filling station presence full of Pepsi bottled Frappuccinos, or Starbucks inside Targets and grocery chains around the country. The store shutdowns include 6 in Los Angeles, 6 in Seattle, 2 in Portland, 1 in Washington, D.C., and 1 in Philadelphia. All of these stores are scheduled to close by the end of July, according to the Wall Street Journal. 6 stores in Seattle are closing because of crime and safety concerns. But is that really what's going on here? Is it really crime and safety? I mean, we had Chaz in the summer of 2020, the genuine insurrection in America, in which people actually declared their independent country and then created a racially segregated society. Yeah, progressives. Don't you love the irony? Because they're just frauds. They didn't shut down stores then, so why has crime become an issue? Is it because the underfunding or defunding of police in Seattle? No mention of that. But before people get too excited about this, it might be something else in play. In fact, Starbucks employees are saying it is. Union members suggest the closures are linked to union organizing. At least 2 of the 6 stores in Seattle are unionized, according to station KOMO out there in Seattle. Now, Starbucks is everywhere, folks. Let's be honest, I've told people I'm not a fan of coffee. I don't like coffee. I have drank it on occasion, but I didn't touch coffee until I was stationed in Italy, and only then because I was forced to in order to have meetings with Italian officials. They wouldn't talk to you unless you drank their frickin' motor oil espressos, and so I drank it. Hated it. Coffee is an evil substance invented by Satan to enslave mankind. That's been my take on it. But Starbucks is ubiquitous. For somebody that doesn't like Starbucks, I'm a fan of the retail outlet, of their marketing, their strategy. I don't like some of their behavior, but Starbucks is everywhere, folks. Look at this. These are a small number of the collection of my Starbucks mugs from around the planet. This one from Japan when I was there for the Rugby World Cup. Starbucks. There you go. Starbucks on the side. Japan. Here's one from Scotland when I was in Scotland. Picked this one up in Scotland. There you go. The bagpipes. Yeah. Starbucks is everywhere for their merchandise, their sandwiches, their food, everything. And it's not just places. Here's one for Pennsylvania. But here we go. Liberty Bell, the Keystone State. And, of course, this one from South Africa, from Pretoria. Yeah, Starbucks in Pretoria at Menlyn. That's where I picked this one up at Menlyn Mall. So Starbucks is everywhere, and it's on everything. Even an Oktoberfest Starbucks mug. Check it out. Yeah. And they also have other things like animals, teddies and things. This one's from 2014 or 2016, Starbucks 2016. That was a piece there, a little bear barista. And of course, these ubiquitous drinks, which you find in grocery stores, petrol stations all over the country and around the world. Bottled by PepsiCo, but sold for Starbucks. The company's huge. It's everywhere. So calm down. They're not shutting down. Just because Starbucks is woke doesn't mean that it's going out of business or that it's paying a penalty for being woke. Far from it. Far from it. Now, remember, Starbucks is the same company that a couple years ago announced that it intended to hire tens of thousands of criminal alien invaders. Now, as a consumer, a customer, and a shareholder of Starbucks, I took great offense to that and was almost started a shareholder revolt against that. The company also infamously allowed the use of store bathrooms after police arrested 2 black men in Philadelphia back in May of 2018 when a Starbucks manager accused them of trespassing after denying them use of the bathroom. Now, what's happened in Starbucks is their toilets are terrible now. They've had unisex toilets for a number of years, and CEO Howard Schultz, interim CEO, says they're now rethinking the open bathroom policy, according to the New York Post. Well, it's about time. Now, Starbucks is a very generous company when it comes to its employees, so people argue against that, but they give generous compensation. Without any experience, people start at reasonably high rates of pay, much higher than the minimum wage in most places. They get stock options and free college tuition if you do it the fashion that they offer to you. Now, Schultz says he wants to recreate an environment that is relevant, welcoming, and safe, and where we uplift one another with dignity, respect, and kindness. That sounds to me like some woke BS coming down the pike. Some seriousness. I mean, why would you treat the people that work for you in any way other than with dignity and respect? That's just asinine. Why do you have to reinvent yourself for that? He says, we need to reinvent Starbucks of the future and reimagine our store experience for greater connection, ease, and a planet-positive impact. There it is. Howard Schultz, the climate zealot. Yeah, I guess that's what he's all about, is the climate too. But let's take a look at what he's talking about here. So he wants to re-envision how we bring our mission to life. What exactly does that mean? Can you elaborate on that? And he does elaborate on it, but his answers are gobbledygook. He wants to renew the well-being of retail partners by radically improving their experience. Okay, well, which partners? Are you talking about your baristas? Or are you talking about chains under franchise? Because Starbucks doesn't franchise, do they? Reimagine our store experience for greater connection, ease, and a planet-positive impact. What greater connection you have? You walk into a Starbucks, you get free music, you get aircon, you sit down in nicely lit locations with Wi-Fi, ubiquitous Wi-Fi access for free in the U.S. and most of the world. I don't know about New Zealand, didn't used to be, but you get it for free. What are you trying to improve? Most of the stores are relatively clean. They're taken care of by baristas. So what greater connection in the store? What do you want? You're going to get manicures and pedicures in Starbucks? And ease, it's pretty easy to go into Starbucks. And a positive planet impact. Really? Well, if you want to have a positive planet impact, how about you stop producing that plastic that goes in your drink cups? Yeah. How about you stop with that? Why become a biodegradable plastic? Why don't you spend a bunch of your research developing biodegradable plastic for a sturdy plastic cup that will degrade in the environment quickly and not pollute it? Yeah. The billions of Starbucks cups that are in landfills around the world. They're never accused of bad environmental activity. In addition to that, what about that water running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week in your locations? You know, the one where they take the cups and go over there, that water runs constantly. The amount of water wasted by Starbucks is legion. Anyway, redesign partnership by creating new ways to thrive together. Woo! What exactly is going on here, Howard Schultz? Well, Starbucks is an interesting company, and for a lot of people starting out in the workforce, it's been very, very lucrative and helpful to get them down the road and success in life. For those who don't mind paying $6 for a cup of coffee, it's been a good experience if you like the coffee. Once again, I think coffee is an evil substance invented by Satan to enslave mankind. If you don't believe me, just look at those people who are addicted to caffeine, who don't get their coffee in the morning, and those dragons will scare the bejesus out of you. But here's to you, Starbucks. How about saying something that makes sense next time, Howard Schultz? This is very confusing. We don't know where you're going with Starbucks, but I guess we'll see sometime soon. Hey, folks, if you're not a subscriber, hit that button right down there. Become a subscriber to Chris Wyatt Africa. We appreciate it. Cheers. Take care of yourself.